Podcast City Network.
Thank you for tuning in on this episode of The Everett Lee Show. But before we get on with the guest onto the program today, there's a couple things I do want to mention that you can help out with supporting The Everett Lee Show. If you're looking to start a podcast and already have a podcast and you're looking for an affordable podcasting hosting site, Podbean's your number one choice. Podbean offers statistics with in-depth analytics to manage your podcast needs. Use the promo code podbean.com/pbsignup and get a free month off. That's podbean.com/pbsignup to get a free month off and see why 1,500 episodes have been shared all over the world in the past 11 years with over 3,000 subscribers that have chose Podbean as their number one hosting site. And if you're looking to get into advertising, Podbean advertising, you'll get $100 off advertising when you sign up as a sponsorship over on podbean.com/pro/pbsignup. That's podbean.com/pro/pbsignup.
You're listening to The Everett Lee Show.
All right, welcome to another new exciting episode of The Everett Lee Show. I'm The Everett Lee. Well, this has been interesting the last couple weeks with a lot of things going on with content over on podcastcity.net. We got 2 new shows. I may have mentioned this before on a live episode of ELS Uncut, which you can watch on Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. Well, Double Dime is one of the new shows, sports investing fantasy sports shows you can check out over on podcasty.net. Robin Nelson has entered the world of horror with Horror Pop After Midnight. I got to looking back at the content that I put out with the Everett Lee Show. I can't believe I'm up in the 200s. I'm in 210, 211. This is episode 212. Wow. Amazing. And I look ahead of myself and try to figure out where I'm going to be at by episode 250 and 300. And I'm already planning ahead in my head what I want to do with a 250 episode or a 300 episode. But I want to get some more episodes put out there before I get up there, man. But it's been a crazy couple weeks. I know recently, at the last minute, I had to cancel a live broadcast at ELS Uncut. Stuff out of my hands happened, and I was not able to pull that show off. I let Ripper Blackheart know at last minute, and we had a guest, and we had to reschedule. So here next week, at this time, we'll have a guest that originally we were supposed to have on. They're going to be coming on, and especially like right now, like tonight, getting ready, set up for a live broadcast of ELS Uncut. A lot of great things to talk about with Ripper Blackheart. And one of the great things about ELS Uncut is the guest interviews that we've had. Like the one that you're going to hear today, taken from a previous episode of ELS Uncut, Wrestling Manager. He's managed more people, and he has more talent under his belt, just about as much as Jimmy Hart, Mouth of South Jimmy Hart. Damien Saint. Damien Saint's been on ELS Uncut and Everett Lee Show on and off quite a bit. And a lot of the guests that I've had on the Everett Lee Show, a lot of the independent workers, wrestlers, it's because of him. I want to give a shout out and thank you, Damien Saint, for the amazing guest I've had come on the podcast. And those people I'm able to talk with and still talk with today. And been just looking at just the conversations that me and Damien have, like this one with Ripper Blackheart and myself. originally on this episode of ELS Uncut, where this interview was taken from, the interview was supposed to only go so much so far, and I just said, fuck it, let's roll with it, man. So I just let it roll through the whole episode of ELS Uncut, just almost about a couple hours. The conversation's so great, you don't want to hit stop. I don't know if anyone has a podcast that's ever come upon that where you plan probably 30 minutes, maybe 45 or an hour, but the conversation's so good you don't want to hit stop and end it. You want to keep it going because it's so entertaining. And hearing this conversation, this interview with Damien Saint, you're going to be entertained today. I was entertained. I went back and listened to it, and I was laughing my ass off on some of the stuff that we talked about. Damien pretty much let us know what he's been doing with his time during the pandemic and which promotions he's been working for and which promotions are not around at the moment ever since everything went to hell with COVID-19. He's up in the Chicago area there, and he explains that there. He explains a new promotion that's starting up. He discusses that with Ripper Blackheart, myself, and we just... I'm laughing about it already, just getting ready to say this. David C. Russell, Deathmatch Wrestle Podcast, mutual friend of Damien Saints and mine, and we pretty much rib David C. Russell, and Ripper Blackheart jumps in there. Entertaining stuff, man. Entertaining stuff. And I'm glad that I didn't get David in on that call because it would have probably been a 3-4 hour show, and I didn't want that. But David, we were just kidding, so you don't need to lose a spare rib over that. You'll understand that joke right there when you listen to this interview with Damien Saint. And it's just entertaining. I love having Damien on. He's so energetic and off the wall. I don't know what I'm going to get when I talk with this guy. I don't know. But I hope you all enjoy this episode and this interview taken from a recent episode of ELS Uncut. Hope you all enjoy it, and I'll see you here after the interview. So enjoy. Ladies and gentlemen, right now on the line is a man that has a lot in common with the great Jimmy Hart. They've run out of fingers to count how much talent they have that they manage. I want to welcome to the program tonight none other than wrestling manager Damien Saint. How you been, man?
Man, not too bad. Just trying to stay busy and live the dream. How you guys doing?
Good.
I've been better. I've been worse.
Well, don't sound like me in the day job. Walking in every morning, hey, how you doing? Live the dream. I don't know whose dream.
Yeah, they don't talk to me in the morning. Yeah, then fuck off.
Pretty much.
Man, it's been a while since I last talked to you. I mean, hell, well, I think the last time I had you on was last year when I was doing the Slammin' Thursday edition of the TheEverettLeeShow when I was covering wrestling there. I had you come on that one time. That was basically the last time I got to talk with you, and pretty much I've been keeping up with you on social media, seeing all your posts and stuff, being entertained. That's one thing I love seeing, the entertaining post by you, and then you just being a straight shooter. That's Ripper. That's what I love about Damon. He's a straight shooter, and he don't care if he pisses you off or not. And he does that with what he does in the wrestling community there. And what the hell you been doing with your time since this pandemic hit, COVID-19? What have you been doing, and what was going on when everything went to a stop for you?
Let's see here. When COVID hit, I had literally just finished up booking my whole year. Like all 2020, I think I had all except for maybe 3 weekends booked. And I've been in this for 4.5 years. I've never gotten that done. So to be in my 4th year and be able to get every weekend pretty much booked. I was ecstatic. And then COVID hit. And I had promotions that, of course, everyone shut down, which I completely understand and I completely support. But then I started having some of the promotions I was working with went out of business completely. So they stopped running altogether. They're not even coming back.
I'm surprised a lot more haven't, with the way this went down.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been nuts. It's basically been nuts with these promotions, how they've survived or they've shut down, like you mentioned there. And did Damien freeze?
I think so. It says video is connecting.
Yep. Oh. Yeah, we lost him.
There he is.
There he is. Hey, man, what happened?
Lost signal. I'm going to the other side of the house where signal's better. Give me a minute.
Oh, I know that.
Hey, sit down on my own bed. What the hell?
Where I live like in a valley, so like my phone reception is like terrible. I sit in my chair. If I lean one direction, nothing. I lean the other way, it's clear as a bell.
I hate the fact that back in the day when you had to get a good TV radio reception, you had to use tinfoil and you had to stand on one foot and one finger pointing out at it.
What do you mean had to? I still do that.
You still
My dad just tried to beat the TV into submission. Come in, you stupid piece of shit. God damn it.
I mean, isn't that what you're supposed to do?
Yeah.
Babe, give me that goddamn whiskey. Why am I goddamn whiskey?
With before you cut out,
were a mistake.
Don't mind me, guys. My wife left raisin bread in here, so I'll be snacking.
Okay. It's uncut.
I was going to say, yeah. Usually
No, it's cut.
Oh, it's cut.
Everett's usually getting hammered during this anyway, so.
Yeah, I got my tall boy right here. I'm sipping on my tall boy Yeeling that I sip on there. But, yeah, I usually, start or before or after. The after party or before party. But before we cut out, you were talking about...
Where did I leave off?
You left off
I don't know where I lost you guys.
You said you had everything booked for 2020, and then when COVID hit, you basically... There's promotions that went out of business?
Yes, okay. So promotions I was helping to build up with the promoters with storylines and everything else I could do and possibly would do to help a promoter. Companies started going out of business completely and everything started shutting down. So as COVID hit, of course you lose all your bookings as it is.
Yeah.
And then finding out promotions you were working for, that it seemed like they were moving you up of what you did with fans and talent, then they start shutting down. And now I'm sitting there in my house going, well, when everything does reopen, what the hell do I have left right now?
Yeah.
I think I had 3, maybe 4 promotions that went out of business completely. So that was easy a good half of the year. And now I got a couple promotions that are opening back up in Indiana and Michigan. Hopefully Chicago soon. So just trying to refill the bookings again.
Yeah.
So the promotions that went under, were they a monthly? Did they run monthly, weekly?
Monthly.
So yeah, there's four times a month you would have had something to do, and
yep.
Plus, it's hard enough for managers. I don't know about you. It's hard enough for managers to get booked as a manager.
It is.
If you're not directly connected with somebody that they're already using beforehand.
Oh, absolutely. Everett, did I ever tell you about when I got to meet J.J. Dillon? And he was talking about me?
No, that's funny.
Okay.
Did Everett ever tell you I do a thing where I hit people with a shoe and I call it the J.J. Dillon?
Nice.
Yeah, he does.
So I believe it was last year I actually went down to a seminar with SICW in Illinois.
Oh, yeah.
And they had Barry Windham and J.J. Dillon there for a seminar. And one of my buddies who I do shows with out in Joliet, Illinois, Tyler Bodine, he was going down there. So I jumped in the car with him, drove down Peoria, jumped in with him. We hit the road again, got down there. And it was so insightful. It was extremely insightful. But it's also the first time I've ever done a seminar where the person who's doing the seminar has been a manager.
Yeah.
And especially for someone like J.J. Dillon, where the primary of his career was being a manager for the Four Horsemen.
Yeah.
Plus, for the wrestlers, you got Barry Windham there. I mean, come on.
Oh, wow.
The dude is such a wealth of information. But, so, after we did the whole seminar, we got to do a Q&A with JJ and Barry. And, of course, like, I'm the only person at the seminar who was a manager.
Yeah.
So, instantly, I was already ecstatic. We did a mock match. He liked what I did, which I went over the moon because I'm like, oh my god, J.J. Dillon likes me as a manager. Yo, I made it. But I asked him about booking me as a manager, and his words were pretty much along the lines of, being a manager is probably one of the hardest things in the business because any promoter can put on a show. But what are the two absolute necessities you need for a show? You need wrestlers and you need referees.
Yep.
If budget gets thin, who's the first one to get cut? The managers.
Yes.
And after he said that, like, it just blew my mind. Because everywhere I go, like, I take my whole life of being in theater and psychology and ring awareness and everything that I do, and I put it with a talent and help create this art. And I never thought of the possibility of, crap, if something does go wrong, I'm the first, either my pay is getting cut first, or I'm getting cut first itself. And all this done made me want to work hard to just, promoters.
Yeah. Wow. That. I remember you seeing a post up that you put up last year that you went to the seminar there, but you never did tell me the story about that, man. I mean, freaking meeting J.J. Dillon and Barry Windham. Did you ask Barry anything, or did you talk to Barry?
No, all my focus was primarily right at J.J.
Okay.
He's in managing, so, when you got someone like JJ there and nobody else there, manager, come on. You got to take advantage of that opportunity.
Well, it's funny because every seminar I've ever gone to, I'm always the only manager. I did another seminar last year with Billy Gunn. And again, we did mock matches. It was my buddy Sean Tyler up in Michigan. And his tag team partner, Kevin. And they did we had a mock match that they had us do. And so I ended up joining up with Kevin. I've never worked with Kevin before. Great guy. And we did a little mock match of Kevin versus Sean with me with Kevin. And we were the last match that we're doing for the mock match for Billy. And instantly, I'm the only person with a three-piece suit on, sitting in the audience the whole time, just listening to Billy Gunn talk. Go up there, and the moment he sees me walking in the suit, instantly Billy Gunn is like, oh shit, there's a manager here. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to have fun now. But it's weird, because honestly, every seminar I've gone to, I'm always the only manager that goes. Or I'm the only referee that goes. It's so weird.
Yeah. You also had that background of being a referee. Now, how long have you been a referee, and how long have you been a manager? Actually, how long have you been in the business? Actually,
4.5 years.
4.5
Just
years.
over 4.5 years. Been managing the whole time. I want to say I picked up refereeing probably 3.5 years ago.
Okay. Yeah, I remember you having that background there, being a referee, and you've done that quite a bit from time to time here in the last 3 years too, haven't you? When you
I've worked for some great promotions, and man, I gotta tell you, I've had some amazing matches. I've got to meet some amazing people on both sides.
Did a lot steadier booking with the refs, didn't it?
It really is, but then again, like I've also done a referee seminar as well with Earl Hebner.
Yeah.
Oh,
Jeez.
nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's what my son. That's how my son started. My son started. He was because that's how Cody Hawk started. Cody Hawk was his trainer.
Right.
And, when my son started training, he was only 16. So to get him on shows as soon as Cody thought he's ready, he's like, "I'm gonna have you ref." And then once he started reffing for Cody, they're like, and they see that Cody's using him, and this person's using it. Like if he wanted to, he could have been working constantly as a ref.
Oh yeah.
But he wanted to wrestle. So he just got to a point where he was just like, I'm not taking any more ref bookings because they're not going to book me as a wrestler if they can keep getting me as a ref.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
which, now he's getting an education. He's taking time off because he's getting a college degree. And
oh, what a nerd! Kids, go to college, do better than me. Yeah. What a nerd!
That's basically what I pounded in my kids' heads their whole life. I'm like, you're not working the shoot jobs that I work. You are getting an education. You are not tearing down your body so somebody else can profit off of it.
Yeah. You know what? My parents did the same exact thing, and I do union sheet metal up in Chicago, tearing my body down after 4 years in the Army where I tore my body down. Yeah. So I proved them wrong.
Yeah. I got one kid that's already got a bachelor's in psychology. She's in grad school right now, and then he when he goes back from Christmas break, will be starting what should be his senior year he's majoring in English. He wants to be a English professor. So,
okay.
I
think he just did that because he knew if he wanted to wrestle, English professors don't work on the weekends.
Tell me about you. Since you mentioned Earl Hebner, tell me about that seminar. Just going to that there and talking with Earl Hebner about refereeing. How was that there?
So it was actually such a fun seminar. It was actually rare as it is, a dual seminar. It was actually Jerry Lynn and Earl Hebner there at the same time.
Nice.
So working as a manager, like I just kept trying to pick Jerry Lynn's head because he's a wrestler. So I kept trying to pick his head and everything was there, and then I also started picking the brain of Earl Hebner, and Earl was talking about placement and how they'll try to work with the TV and just try to make sure you're the authority figure. I find so many times I get on shows with young kids, not that I'm not a young kid, but kids who are like 1-2 years in reffing, and they get nervous around the talent, but then they do the whole I'm scared referee thing where the big bad guy is getting in your face, and you kind of start backing off and getting cornered.
You need to be Tommy Young.
And every time I get one of those kids at a show, whether I'm refereeing or I'm managing, doesn't matter. I pull that kid aside right away, and I'm like, dude, be the authority figure. Every referee you see on any indie show is always doing, no, please don't hurt me, Mr. Wrestler. Do the Earl Hebner. Get back in their face.
Yeah.
I've had some promotions that I've repped at where I've done that. Talent has never worked with me before. They come in for the first time, and they're the heel, and then they start trying to get in my face, and they never expect the referee to get right back in their face.
Why would they not
back them up?
Have they not watched wrestling on TV? Because that's how it is on wrestling on TV.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
My favorite growing up was Tommy Young. Because Ric Flair would always try to get in Tommy Young's face.
Oh, yeah.
Tommy Young would always get right back in his face and put his finger in Ric Flair's chest.
Yeah.
Also, I consider him the greatest referee ever because when you tuck Nikita Koloff's dick back into his singlet for him in a middle match, you are the greatest referee of all time.
You are a legend of legends. But no, like I remember as a kid watching WWE, WF, whatever it was back then, and I remember watching, like I grew up watching Earl Hebner.
Yeah.
And I loved seeing him at main events, but one thing I always noticed about Earl Hebner was, especially in any storyline that had to do with Triple H, the moment Hunter started crossing that boundary, you saw Earl get right in his face and back him up and point out that he's the authority figure. And kids need to start watching like original referees, like the old school referees, the ones who didn't take this shit.
Yeah.
That's what, to me, I think that's a big thing that indie wrestling needs, is they need to start teaching the referees, hey, don't just say you're the authority, be the fucking authority.
Jake, yeah, and
Exactly.
some of them are like that, like Drake Younger on NXT. Whenever they try to give him shit, he's like, he just gets it back.
Oh, no, he doesn't
He's
take
like,
it.
hey,
Yeah.
ref,
Yeah.
that's what I just like. Yeah, if you're scared of them, it'd be like you don't see an umpire, you don't see refs in football or basketball or any of that cower whenever a player complains about a bad call.
Yeah.
So why would they do it in professional wrestling?
Right. Talking about referees, like watching, they need to go back and watch old school wrestling and watch those referees that when talent does cross the line, they like you mentioned there. I was at one show here in Florida. I won't mention the promotion, but the referee was out there. He looked lost. He looked like he was just out there and he wasn't getting into it or just doing anything. But at that same show, they had a woman referee out there, young 18-year-old out there referee. Oh man, dude. When talent started crossing that line, she stepped in. It was like, this one has been paying attention. And
Nice.
she'd yell at him and like, I'm the referee. And it's just like, oh, this is great. This is great. She'd sit there. They'd be out in the ring, and doing her thing. And she's counting them. And she's yelling at them. She's like, get back in the ring. And then I see, and then at the same show, I seen the young kid as a referee. It's just like, 1, 2, get back in the ring. 1, 2. It's
God, I
like,
hate that so much. Well, you know what
The ref is just as much part of the match as the wrestlers in it.
Oh, he is.
You need to be.
I would honestly almost say the referee is, and I hate to say it this way, but I think the referee is even more of the match than the wrestlers. The way I've always looked at it, and this is the way I've explained every green kid I've ever worked with who has come to me for advice, and they asked about how to look at a match, my answer is always the same. Look at a wrestling match as a movie. You have the baby face good guy, you have the heel bad guy, and what happens throughout the whole movie. Good guy confronts bad guy cheats, gets the upper hand on the good guy, kicks the good guy's ass throughout the majority of the frickin' movie, and then at the end of the movie, good guy overcomes it and triumphs, and he's the hero. The referee is almost the director, but also a narrator.
Oh yeah.
The referee kind of is
He's
direct
got to react to
where
the
the match
action.
is going.
yeah.
A lot of times, too, the referee is probably in better shape than most of the wrestlers because the wrestlers got one match. Most of them referees are doing half the card, some the whole card, depending on the budget.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've had that happen a couple times where I've shown up to a show and I get hit with, "Hey, Damien, so our other referee canceled, or they're stuck in traffic. Do you mind just Ironmanning it?" Fuck.
Yeah.
What am I gonna do? Sit there and say, "No, I won't referee your show." Now they have no referee.
Now,
I was telling Everett, the one group I work for, they do a thing for the Arnold Classic, and it's this long weekend tournament. It lasts 3 days, 2-3 days, and there is an ungodly amount of matches because they just keep going because there's people coming through. People sit for a while, and they just for solid 2 to 4 hours. They're got guys out there performing, and they usually only have between 2 to 3 refs. The one guy I know, Peachy, his hand was so sore. He's like, I'm not slapping that mat anymore. He's like, I'm just. He's like, I can't feel my hand anymore. So,
Yeah.
because of all the matches, he's going down the falsies and and all that. So, yeah, like I said, referees, don't think you can just step in and be a referee.
No, you definitely can.
There is.
And I gotta say, one of the worst things that I've done as a referee is referee with broken ribs.
Oh. Referee of broken ribs.
Oh yeah, no, not fun. And it took me 2 months until I finally went to the doctor to go figure out what the problem was, and then they told me it was broken ribs. Oh, dude, those 2 months was when I was like really picking up reffing bookings. It was the absolute worst. I couldn't breathe at the show, and I still moved at the same speed, and I still dropped as quickly as possible, and I jumped over talent to get to a count as quickly as I possibly could. And all I could do was try to guard my right-hand side. It was horrible.
Damn. I do want to mention this right here. I want to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll dive more into the conversation right here. But first, there's a couple things I do want to mention. Since 1995, HighSpots.com has grown to be the company it is by serving the wrestling fans throughout the world with a great selection of merchandise. HighSpots.com has everything a wrestling fan could want, including the latest WWE and TNA releases, classic wrestling merchandise, and their HighSpots.com exclusive releases. HighSpots.com is the leading online retailer for professional wrestling and mixed martial arts, offering autographs, figures, DVDs, apparel, wrestling gear, and even wrestling rings. Their largest clients include WWE, Impact Wrestling, ROH, and AEW. Click on the High Spots logo on the Everett Lee Show page over on podcasty.net to order. Whether you are a wrestling fan, pro wrestler, or promoter, you can find what you're looking for at highspots.com. If you grew up as a kid in the 1980s or just a fan of 1980s pop culture, then ADTs is for you. ADTs sells a huge variety of licensed t-shirts featuring characters, movies, TV shows, video games, and music stars from the 1980s through today. They also have great costumes from 80s pulp culture too. ADTs.com sells officially licensed pulp culture t-shirts. As you might guess, their focus is on the 1980s, but do sometimes sell other cool pop culture related tees. 80s Tees has been in business since 2000, meaning they like retro 80s stuff too before it was cool. Follow the link provided in the description section of this episode for more. 80stees.com.
You're listening to The Everett Lee Show.
We got some people in the chat here. Anna, she earlier said, "Oh Lord, look out, Damien Saint," when we announced that you're coming on the program tonight. Shout out to Anna and a mutual friend of ours, David C. Russell. Hello.
Actually, I want to say Anna's pretty rude.
Anna's pretty rude.
I mean, really. Oh God, Damien Saint. You know, I'm actually a little bit offended.
Well, maybe it was.
I take time away from my family and from my wife and my puppies and my television, my Xbox, to come on here and help entertain your amazing fans. And Anna's response is that?
I like to think of it as she went, "Oh God, Damien Saint."
Or you know what? Maybe it's more, "Oh God."
Yes.
And Hannah, that's the one. That's cool. I fully accept that.
So as he stated, he's married, and so
yeah. So
back off, lady.
Yeah, back off. You can keep blabbering on me and it's going, "Oh God, Damien Saint, he's so dreamy." But make sure you add in the "so dreamy" part. I want to make sure I can picture that correctly.
David said, "Let him know it's ribbing time, and he loves spare ribs." That's what David said in the chat.
David is a fucking spare rib. Fucking hell, David C. Russell.
Now,
Davey, I like spare ribs. So does the rest of America. Good job.
Now, every time I see him and talk to him, I'm going to think of spare ribs now, Damien.
Hold on. I want to see if I have David's contact information in here. I do.
You should. I have it.
And now he's like, delete.
No. So I just want proof. If you can see, which I can't even look over my phone.
Yep. Yep. David C. Russell.
All right, David C. Russell. Okay.
Yep.
I'm not good with technology. Give me a moment. It's amazing I know how to work a fucking car.
I think I know what he's doing right now. He's probably texting him or calling him right now. Ripper. What did you say? Spare ring.
Fuck you, David. You fucking Starbucks slopping son of a bitch. You know, it's actually kind of amazing that David has not sent me a Snapchat in the past month of him going. Like, I feel like he's posing like he's trying to stick like the smallest dick possible.
He sent him to me too. He sent him to me too every once in a while. He would send those pictures every once in a while to me and stuff. He has sent one to you in about a month there. He loves the Starbucks, man. He loves the Starbucks.
Love is an understatement.
I bet it's the same. He went there
more like
once.
He wants to pay to be in pornographic videos with Starbucks is more like it.
I think he's only been there once and he kept the cup. And he's got.
He just finds the local bum. Hey, Johnny, bend over.
He said, damn right.
I will change her name again to Shit Eater. I swear to God. I swear to Thor. I swear to Odin. I swear to Zeus. I swear to all of them. I will do it, Dave.
You're breaking out the old school gods. God damn.
Yeah. Now, you live in the Chicago area there. How the hell has Chicago been, and how's some of the wrestling promotions that are open that are still going? How's that going about?
Not a lot of promotions are running. There are some that are. I think Zelo Pro just did an outdoor show, so I really think they're one of the few in the Chicagoland area that's actually is reopened to the public. I know Rocket Pro Wrestling, they just had a closed set wrestling show. I think they did like a tournament. When I talked to the booker over there, I was in North Carolina. He was trying to get me to come back, and the day I came back was the day right before the show. And I'm like, it's like an 11-hour drive. I'm not making it. There's no way. But he was telling me they were doing like 31 matches. They got
you
recorded.
goddamn pussy. 11 hours? Gee, come on. Suck it up.
Hell, Ric Flair used to drive from one side of the country to the other to do two shows a day.
Drunk and high at the same time.
God damn it.
With hookers.
David just sent me a fucking video, and what do you think is 22 seconds of? Probably him slurping down a fucking Starbucks. I'm looking at it, and all I see is, no, get the fuck back over here, David. Is you see him with a fucking Starbucks. Fucking, you know what? Let's watch this together, America.
David Saint, this is for you, pal. Got a problem with that? Bring it. Bring it, buddy.
That is some fucking generic Walmart coffee in that bitch. Tell you, he went to Starbucks once. He saves the cup. He probably doesn't even wash it. And he just gets generic coffee from the Dollar General and fucking pours it in there.
Dollar General.
You fool of nobody, Dave. You're fooling nobody. You think you can fool us? This is the outlet. We're uncut.
Your mother told us what you do, David.
She says she's not washing that sock. She's not doing it.
Well.
Oh my goodness.
Then she walked across the room, hit her toe on it, now her toe's broke. That's how hard it is. God, I need wrestling. Oh my God.
Yeah,
See, this is the shit that's been bottled up since March. Since March.
Really? Since March? Since March. You've been thinking about David's dried up cum stock? That's what you think of since March?
Just to let some rage out. Anyway,
yes.
whatever.
Yes. Damien, Ripper's in Ohio, and he's talking about FGW, because FGW, Future Great Wrestling, they were on a roll there. I was sitting there during the pandemic when I was off work and everything. I was watching FGW. I got caught up with it and everything. And pretty much they were on a roll with their stories and everything. And when Ohio, I said this before to Ripper, I was like, Ohio got the short end of the stick, man, because they're like athletic commissions in the states, like not running, no running, and like talent's been going outside, man, just going to Indiana, Pennsylvania, Virginia, just to get work. Yeah. It's been hard. It's been hard. I mean, I know when I'm, being here in Florida, and I'm telling people, up
Florida.
yeah, because we're essential. Wrestling's essential here. Yeah, I would tell. Hey,
yeah, well, guess what? If y'all want to stay in your damn houses, I would have came down there for vacation and found a show to work. No, you had to get your COVID numbers up. No.
Guys, don't take this the wrong way. A lot of people that live here in Florida, there's like a small percentage, and I'm in that small percent that's actually born and raised here. Everybody else is not even born here, raised here. They're all from up north, New York, New Jersey. They come down. I know one time my father, I remember this as a kid. He was in the store. I was in the store with him, and someone from New York that lived here was complaining about Florida, how this and that. My dad's like, "Where are you from?" He said, "I'm from New York. I'm from wherever he said he was." And my dad's like, "Well, you know what? You love it so much. Why don't you take your ass and go back up there?" He told him. Yeah, the guy got pissed, and I mean, he went back and forth. This first time I seen my daughter, or not my daughter, my dad almost knocked someone out. Man, I was like,
I'd pay to your daughter knock somebody out. What you got? Your daughter's like what, 3?
Yeah, well, actually, my daughter has knocked someone out because
you don't count. You goddamn
no.
Black jaw motherfucker.
Tell you what happened. We went to pick up my daughter at daycare, and they had to take action because the daycare teacher told her to do something, and she didn't want to do it. So when they went to try to get her to do what she was been told, she basically hit them and then took a chair and threw it at them. And then it's like they're talking to us. They're like, "We never seen her do this before. Where did she get this?" And I was like, "We don't do anything like that at home."
ECW, weren't they? Someone had on the network one night and said, "Here, this is called ECW, honey. Look at this crazy shit." You know what? You know when WWE guys and WWE guys were becoming millionaires, these guys were working for pennies and buckets and put on better shows than both of them.
I'm pretty so much proud of my daughter. I mean, your daughter.
Pretty much my daughter. She was, because I remember where she got it, and my wife's like, "Where the heck did she get this at?" And I go, "I know where she got it from." And she's like, "You what?" And I said, "Yeah, I was sitting there watching. It was the whatever pay-per-view WWE was having on, where Brock Lesnar and Rey Mysterio was in the ring, and Rey beat Brock down with the chair. My daughter happened to walk in the room, and she saw Rey beaten down with the chair, so she goes to daycare.
I'm gonna steal that shit.
I think next time I go to the job site, someone pisses me off and just grab his chair and start beating them. What were you doing? I saw it on WWE.
One thing I know is that when I went to New York in 2015, and me and my wife went up to the Barclays Center, we were there for SummerSlam, and then the following night we went back for Raw. And when we were coming back that Sunday night from the pay-per-view to go back to the Times Square to stay at the Hilton, we were staying there at the Hilton. We got one of those SummerSlam packages. My wife paid, and she's like, I'm going to use her tax money. I'm like, yeah, let's go to New York. Never been to New York before. So first time.
Well, your tax money.
Yeah.
I'm using my tax money.
She used hers, not mine. We split it up. Here's yours, here's mine. But what happened was when we were there at the show, we were there with a bunch of people, and we met them back on the subway. They're going back to Times Square. There we are with these two collector's chairs, me and my wife, and I'm like, I don't want to walk through Times Square at these things. And it's like, but we got to. I was like, because I was like, New York, gonna get jumped. So I was talking to the guys. They're like, yeah, we're staying at the hotel. We're staying at the Hilton. Oh, you're staying at Hilton? Hey, we are too. Let's all go back to Hilton together. So when the subway train stopped there at Times Square, you see a line of 8 people coming out wearing wrestling shirts with steel chairs. You don't fuck with a wrestling fan with a steel chair because they've watched enough wrestling so they know how to swing that thing.
Not just that, it's every wrestling fan dream to whip someone with a steel chair.
I don't know, though. My money's still on a crack whore from New York against a steel chair.
Hey, leave Melinda alone.
Oh, damn. That's nuts. But
Melinda, I'm sorry I love you. I don't know Melinda.
I do.
It's that damn crack whore.
She's a crack whore that lives down the street.
Mommy, what's a crack whore? Go ask your aunt.
That's the next meeting you're going to have, Everett.
Oh, I don't want to.
You're going to get called in and, yeah, your daughter asked what a crack whore was today.
Well, at least I would rather deal with that than my best friend. His daughter, when she first got to middle school, first day of school, she comes home. She said, Daddy, some boy said he wanted to pop my cherry. What's a cherry? I kid you not. I kid you not.
That kid would be dead.
Yeah, he flew. I mean, he like lost it. He went actually crazy. I mean, I think he went out in the yard and chopped down a tree. You know, just like that's how crazy he was. I would have lost my shit too. My shit too. Something like that. It's like when I was in middle school, I wasn't thinking about that. I was thinking about video games, wrestling, and comic books, and riding my bike and playing baseball.
Well, I taught my daughter how to hit people. You hit them. I can deal with the consequences. You get in trouble, I'll come in. We'll talk about it.
There you go. Did you get put on furlough or anything during the last few months with anything, Damien? Or you've been working all
when quarantine first happened in March, with my union, they gave us the option if we wanted to. So I actually took 2 months off and kind of sat at home because the wife's parents, they live like 20 minutes away and we're the closest to help take care of them. And they're both elderly and like in their 70s. And so didn't want to take a chance. So sat home for 2 months. Then after that, things started to calm down and I'm going back to work probably start of July or start of June.
Start of June, yeah. I ended up going back to work. I got furloughed in April and didn't go back to work until like the second or last week of June. And I pretty much occupied my time watching things on TV, doing podcasts. I mean, did You watch anything lately? I was seeing that you've been watching Lucifer. You've been watching that there, or you're ready for season 5.
Yeah, I'm actually working on season 5 right now. So during quarantine itself, I had a way to stay busy, and so this is my wife's new office because she got a new job, so now she works from home for the most part. Which I started this project really back around Thanksgiving last year, and then seriously, the first day I sat home at quarantine was the first day she was starting her new job, so she's working from home.
Yeah.
So she was in my recliner in front of the TV with my Xbox. So, needless to say, her office got done within less than 3 weeks.
Nice.
But did that, redid one of our bathrooms with the floors, painted it, changed the vanity, sink, toilet, redid the floors in the laundry room, repainted a couple rooms. I stayed busy for the most part.
That's good. That's good.
I didn't want to at all. She wouldn't leave me alone.
My wife
She wouldn't leave me alone. No.
My wife wanted to kill me, man. She's like, I stayed up till like 3:00 in the morning, just watching stuff on TV there. I know I hate to bring this up because Ripper's gonna rib on me for this, Damien. I know I like at 3:00, 2 or 3:00 in the morning. I sat there and flipped through on Netflix. And I'm like, what to watch, and I was like, oh, Terminator Salvation. And I just threw it on and watched it. I went to theaters to see that.
I fell asleep at the movies watching that at the theater. Terminator.
That was the newest one, right?
Oh no, that's the one with Christian Bale in it and the dude from the Clash of the Titan movies. What the hell's his name?
Oh,
Avatar.
that was the fourth one.
Yeah.
That was Terminator 4. Okay.
Yeah, it's got like a really big lull point in the middle.
Yeah.
That's where I slept in a movie theater. And Everett's talking like it's the greatest fucking Terminator of all of them, and
No,
like
definitely not the greatest. Like for me, I'm the weird Terminator fan where I don't actually think they've had a bad movie. But aside from that, I want to say Terminator 2.
Yeah.
Are you shutting my door on me?
She shut your door.
you heard you talking shit.
Damn it, woman.
Yeah, I watched that last one that came out with the return of Linda Hamilton and Arnold, and oh god,
That was a good one. I was actually really happy with that.
I liked the visual effects to it. There were some moments, but I felt like they didn't do anything really new with the story.
No, and I agree. I don't feel like there's really anything that's truly new to the story.
Yeah.
I mean, aside from the fact that John is dead.
Yeah.
So it really was. I mean, I get it. It's technically Terminator 7, but they try to make it seem like it's a reboot, though they actually explained how they did a reboot.
Because they
I actually appreciate it. I appreciate them actually explaining why everything's changed now. But to me, I was actually kind of a big fan. I didn't see the movie when it came out in theaters. I waited a long time. I actually saw it during quarantine.
Yeah.
I watched it a couple weeks ago.
I was actually really pleasantly happy with it.
I think it was on one of the streaming channels on my Amazon.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I haven't seen that.
That's probably where I saw it was Amazon.
Yeah. I know it's up there. I've been watching me and Ripper a few weeks ago. We talked about Cobra Kai. They finally brought it to Netflix. Cobra Kai, man. Fucking great. I love that show. I love it. I can't wait for season 3. Have you watched that?
Not yet. So I watched season 1 when it was on YouTube.
Uh-huh.
And since it came to Netflix, I've not gotten a chance to watch season 2 yet. I've been mostly just watching Hulu, just binging my old shows like Bob's Burgers, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Letterkenny. And so I'm finally working on Lucifer with season 5. I think I'm almost like halfway, maybe a little bit past halfway done with that.
Yeah.
And then I'm planning on going over to that. But No, I just
Come on, I just passed. See, when was it? Saturday. I started it Saturday night and finished it Sunday. Was the new one on Amazon called Utopia? That is some wild shit. There was a lot of plot twist, and just when you think something's one way, it's another. And I wasn't expecting anything out of it, just from the commercials that they showed for it. I'm like, and then I watched it after the first episode. I'm like, whoa, this is nothing like I thought it was going to be. And like I said, by Sunday, I think Sunday at 9 o'clock at night, I'd watched. There's only 8 episodes. I'd watched it all, and I'm like, now what the fuck am I going to watch? God damn
it! Don't you hate that, man? You sit there and you'll go through and watch. That's how I felt with Cobra Kai. I went through and watched all season 1 and season 2, and then I'm like, I want season 3. Where is season 3? Now what the hell am I going to do? that's how
I was the same way when it came to the Netflix Marvel shows.
Yeah.
Like, I've always been a huge fan of the Punisher. I love the Punisher comics. And so when they did the Punisher and they brought him in with Daredevil, I loved it. And then they finally gave him his own series, and you got through season 2. And it was one of the few, like, I've enjoyed all the Netflix Marvel shows.
Yeah.
But I just think Punisher just truly embolized what the Punisher was. And then as soon as Disney Plus started happening and Netflix has canceled all those shows.
Yeah.
I need my Punisher.
Yeah.
Disney, please give me my Punisher.
Yeah.
I want my damn Punisher.
It stinks.
You said Hulu too. Hulu, I think next month the Hellstrom series starts.
Okay.
And that's a Marvel property as well. Damien Hellstrom, son of Satan. He was in the Defenders when I was a kid. Because back when I was a kid, the Defenders were they weren't the street level guys. You had like the main core group of the Avengers was the Incredible Hulk, Doctor Strange, Silver Surfer, and Namor. And then you had like Hellcat and Hellstrom and Nighthawk and Valkyrie and all these other characters, and even Beast from the X-Men, Angel from the X-Men, and Iceman from the X-Men were Defenders at one time.
Nice.
Back in the day. So I'd heard about it, and then I totally forgot about it, and Hulu did some ads for it on Facebook, and I caught it the other day. I'm like, oh, shit, yeah. Gotta make sure I remember that. Because, yeah, I'm a huge into the comic book movies and TV shows because I grew up on all that shit.
Yeah.
And to be able to be alive where it's actually quality fucking live action shit out there.
Yeah.
Like, when people complain about certain superhero movies, and some of them, you know, they're rightfully so, but there's some that people just nitpick at. I'm like, I want you to go back and look for the Captain America telemovies of the 70s and early 80s. I want you to go find the Doctor Strange TV movie. I want you to go find the old Spider-Man TV series. Watch
and the original Hulk.
Oh, yeah. And then I bet you shut the fuck up.
Okay, so my next little fucking rant, because thank you, Ripper. He's brought me to my next little fucking rant.
He does that.
I fucking hate some of these comic book fans who don't know a goddamn thing about comic book. They sit there and watch the Marvel movies and they watch Marvel shows, and they suddenly go, I know everything about Marvel. Since they announced She-Hulk, there are people who've been freaking out online about why you gotta make the Hulk a woman.
It's a totally different character.
I know.
Or why is it gonna be Natalie Portman? Why are they gonna make Thor a woman? Like, motherfucker, don't you dare sit there and say you love comic books and you don't know a goddamn thing about comic books, especially Marvel.
Yeah.
Why is Hulk gotta be a woman? I don't know. Why is She-Hulk a fucking character? Got more balls than you, boy.
Yeah, I saw something like that, man. I'm like, really? I was like, She-Hulk is a different character.
Yeah.
Come on now. Did you see that stuff, Ripper? Have you heard about that?
I know, because I would have probably lost my mind on whoever posted it. You know how I get, Everett, when it comes to this shit.
Yes. Yeah.
I got a real problem. My biggest problem is Hollywood when they think they can do it better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they change shit and make it worse. I just watched a documentary about the creation of He-Man and all the mythos that went with it, and then they were talking about the movie. The movie, terrible. But the guy who was designing the fucking costume, they're interviewing him. They're like, he come up with this guy. Well, that doesn't look like me. It doesn't. He's like, it doesn't have to. Yes, it fucking does. It has to look like the fucking character, so we know who the fuck it is. You goddamn jackass. That's like if I did a movie about Martin Luther King and I cast Sylvester Stallone as Martin Luther King.
Wait. Does that mean that Arnold's going to be Malcolm X? Because that'd be the greatest thing ever. And when we get there, we will riot and we will stand.
Oh shit. It's like, so I forget what comedian was talking about it back in the day. He's talking about like movies with like miscasting, like Ripper just said there. He's like, The Last Samurai starring Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise ain't no fucking samurai.
That was an all-right movie, but it didn't feel like Tom Cruise was playing a character. It just felt like Tom Cruise is in this movie.
Yeah,
but that's like every Tom Cruise movie is Tom Cruise.
Yeah, I can't believe.
Although
unless Tom Cruise is a side character, then he plays an actual character and it's entertaining. And if it's his own standalone movie and it's just Tom Cruise and fucking Mission Impossible 59, it's Tom Cruise being Tom Cruise.
Although I did enjoy the first Jack Reacher very much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say first Jack Reacher was good.
That one's a little bit. What do you think's going to die first, the Fast and the Furious franchise or Mission Impossible? Because they're both getting a little ridiculous.
Well, the Fast and the Furious franchise is supposed to be wrapping up. I mean, I was saying to someone a while back ago, back in May, and I said, you know what? I said, Fast 9 was supposed to come out this month. I said, right now, I said, I told you what would have happened this month. I would have went to go see Fast 9, and then next year I would have went and seen Fast 10, and then that's pretty much where they're in the franchise with the last two. But I was sitting there cracking a joke about...
They know nothing.
What?
You're supposed to do trilogies.
They did like three sets of trilogies of the damn franchise, man.
You know what? I don't count Tokyo Drift.
Tokyo Drift was actually...
That's like alternative universe Fast and the Furious is what that is.
So, technically, you have to count Tokyo Drift, though, just because it does tie into films later on. Yes. So if you ignore Tokyo Drift completely, then it doesn't make sense anymore, and the whole world is just fucking awry, and we can't do that.
The only thing...
The whole world awry because of Fast and Furious does not make sense. I need my Fast and Furious to make sense. I need my Fast and Furious to make sense!
So you're saying that it does make sense in its current state?
Yes.
It does. I'm still trying to figure out...
You know what Fast and Furious was? The first one? It was Point Break. They swapped out the surfboards for fucking Hondas.
First of all, sir, it was The Fast and The Furious. Fast and Furious was a different movie. Keep the movie right, sir.
Oh, you can change the title. You can change the title all you want, but it's all the same fucking movie.
Yeah, that's actually the fourth one, Ripper.
Tokyo Drift. Vin Diesel's not the star.
Yep.
But
got you there.
That shows up. His ass shows up in it, though, doesn't he?
Yeah.
But was he the star of the movie?
Yeah. I love the lines.
The biggest star in the movie.
When I saw the advertisement for the Fast and Furious when it came out in 2001, I forget what movie I went to go see, and when they were showing the preview of it, I go, dude, it's the guy from Pitch Black. Awesome, you know? That's where I recognized him. And then I was like, oh, dude, they got the guy in the crutches in Varsity Blues. Oh, nice. You know, that's where I recognized him. And then they like blew up big and stuff. But there's one thing I'm still trying to figure out. What?
One literally blew up big.
Yeah, one blew up. Yeah, one blew up big. I'm still trying to figure this out.
He missed it, Damien. Damien got it.
Now, Everett, what are you trying to figure out for the 69th time?
I'm trying to figure out in Fast 9 who the villain is because I can't see them.
Honestly, I don't know if I've even seen Fast 9 yet.
You didn't see the trailer for it?
Oh, it hasn't come out yet?
It's the one that's supposed to have been out but didn't come out.
I don't know. There's so many.
Yeah, they postponed it for next year.
It wasn't fast or furious enough to escape COVID-19.
Now, did you see Hobbs and Shaw? I did enjoy that.
I did not. So I actually had turned it on during quarantine, and then I got busy with house projects, so I kind of saw a little bit here and there.
Yeah,
but I didn't get to watch the whole movie, so I need to go back and rewatch the whole movie.
The one thing about Hobbs and Shaw, I will say this, is that they were raving about Roman Reigns. You know, he's in the movie. You know, he does scenes with The Rock. I don't want to spoil it though, but he only has like 3 little scenes that are really small, but they made it sound like this was the biggest thing he ever did. I'm like, really? That's all. And I think he spoke in 2 of the scenes. He said, and whoa, and that's it.
And the whoa, he improvised that.
Yeah.
But he got paid double for that one.
That's
bitches.
Yeah, but I mean that's basically all that all that happened there. I mean, just if you get a chance, if you decide to sit down and watch something one night, watch it. I recommend watching it. It's huh?
It's all right.
Yeah, it's all right. It's just I like the back and.
But a little bit, I saw it. It seemed like it's more of a comedy with Jason
Better
Statham.
than Terminator Salvation. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I'll agree with you. Right there is much better than that.
But no, like the little bits I did see, it did look like it's pretty funny. So
yeah,
I do kind of go back and watching. I just haven't given myself the time to sit down and do it.
Yeah, I would watch it. You get a chance and you want to sit down and watch it because the chemistry between The Rock and Jason Statham is just fantastic. I love their chemistry together and everything. They play off each other well. They do.
Oh, I'm sure they do. Like I said, a little bit I saw, and it looks like they play off each other extremely well. Now I just need a movie of those two with Kevin Hart.
Yeah. Throw Kevin Hart in there. Poor little Kevin Hart.
I think he's in it. Come think of no, he's in it.
He's actually in. Yes, he is in Hobbs and Shaw.
He's in it.
Yeah, he does. He plays a cameo. You gotta watch. Now he's gonna be like when he tomorrow night. He's gonna be like I watched Hobbs and Shaw. Everett Lee and Ripper said watch it. It was great.
Everett said watch it. I said it was all right. It was better than Terminator Salvation. That's all I said.
I'm gonna sit there and watch it. I'm gonna go online. Ripper and Everett said I should watch. This is the worst movie ever. I love this movie so much. Those fucking douchebags. Hey, can you play the movie again? I fucking hate those guys.
He'll be like, hey, can you give me the movie poster for Christmas? Huh? Put it up.
You know what? Maybe I can.
Damn. Damn, man, this has been great. This has been great talking with you and seeing what you've been up to. I just excuse me. I've been trying to get with everyone that I know and I'm friends with and on my contacts to say, hey, what's been going on? How you been? Haven't talked to you in a while. How you handling things? And it sounds like you've You've been pretty good.
Put to work. He's been put to work. The man's building his wife's dream home.
Yeah.
That's what he's doing.
He is. And I seen some stuff up on your Facebook and even on my news feed that you posted out there about wrestling shows happening in Chicago there. I was looking at that one there that's sold out. Chicagoland Championship Wrestling.
So I was actually going to bring that up earlier, but then we got sidetracked with my multiple rants, and then Ripper had rants, and then I had rants. And we're talking about rants, not rips. We're not doing rips or roids. We're talking about rants. So it's quite all right. So, Chicagoland Championship Wrestling, promoter and owner John Bullard, amazing guy. I haven't known him long, but since I've met him, I enjoyed being around him. And as a promoter, I gotta say this: he's probably one of the best, if not the best, promoter I've ever worked with. And we haven't had our first show yet. The dude has put in amazing amount of time and sweat and everything to build up this promotion. He originally booked me back in February, and the show was supposed to happen earlier this year, but of course COVID happened and everything else. So now it's this Saturday, October 3rd. But he's built such a product without one show yet, where he's already got a deal of where Chicagoland Championship Wrestling is going to be on Amazon Video.
Nice.
He has people who are going to be able to do commentary in languages as German, Japan, and whatever language they speak in Singapore.
Wow. Damn.
And then it's also going to be aired on Amazon in those countries. So the first show has not even happened yet. And he's got this set up as old school studio wrestling.
Pretty much what we're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But one show has not even happened yet, and he's already got a deal set up with Amazon in different countries, with people that do commentary in different countries. I don't think I've been this excited for a promotion.
Sounds like a sweet deal.
It is. It is. If you go over on Damien's timeline there.
I believe I've seen the poster because I probably know some people. I know some people that way over in Chicago because we've had several guys throughout the years up in Lima through Chicago. We still use Chicago guys up in Lima for war wrestling. And I think there had to be somebody on that list because it's popped up on my feed a couple times here within the last few days.
Yeah. I'm looking at it right now. I'm pulling up this stuff right here. I love that. I love that that retro feel when I look at the poster there. That's pretty amazing. I was like TV taping. I was like I'm looking and all the feedback and man, people's just going off on the thing, man. I mean that is freaking amazing. Him to build up so much hype for a show he's not even had his first show yet, right?
I mean, and the thing I love about John is every time someone buys tickets online, he sends them a personal letter to thank them for the tickets, for purchasing tickets. So he's already creating that establishment with the fans. And then he's just been absolutely phenomenal itself and everything he does. One of the most professional people I've ever met.
Wow.
Like, he's been scouting people probably well within the past 2 years around Chicago.
Uh-huh.
So the first time I met John, I had no idea who he was. First time I ever met him was with Ileana Pro Wrestling. And it was like one of the few shows I've gotten to go to while they were running. I was repping the show. And this is back when John had black hair. And it was like thick, slick back hair. I found a picture of him later on. I never would have known that they were the same person. But so he had a match with Shawn Danger. And so afterwards, he asked me from inside of how everything went and everything was going on. And so, of course, I gave him my little critiques, and I gave him things I liked and what I didn't like. Come to find out, he booked me right then and there. Nice. I had no idea.
Wow.
Like, he was just scouting people for such a long time around Chicago. When I finally found out he was scouting people, like, well after everything's already been booked, there was a picture of him sitting in the stands watching Kate, Moxie Molly.
Yeah.
Who's around the area around me. And so it was him sitting in the fans with this slick back hair, just watching. He was talking about how he was scouting then. And I'm like, What do you mean you're scouted? Like, who the hell scouts nowadays?
Yeah.
Well, we used to do that back in the day up in Lima. We ain't done it in a while because we've gotten to the point where we've got a solid roster, and we've got guys that, if this guy, if certain guys can't make it, we have a list of other guys we can call up, and they can just slide right in there. Fans are familiar with. But yeah, we used to go shows all over Michigan and here in Ohio and over in Indiana all the time. Matter of fact, some of the guys that we have now is because we saw them other places, and we're like, well, perfect example, the Voodoo King, Mojo McQueen, he's from the Chicago area, right? We had a show in Michigan, person Brian that worked for us as a wrestler, Orlando Christopher, and as soon as Mojo came out, now, granted, the promoter has not even seen him wrestle yet. Just by his ring entrance alone, he's got this box and he opens up and the color smoke comes out. He comes out to Led Zeppelin when the levee breaks and shit. He looks at me and goes, "I'm booking this motherfucker." Hadn't even seen him wrestle yet. And now he's the war champion.
Damn. That's amazing. I'm looking at I pulled up Chicagoland Championship Wrestling on Facebook there, and one of the previews they got on here, they got Garrison Creed. I've heard of Garrison Creed, Chris Logan, and Rocket. They got
Marche Rocket.
Martian. That's how you.
Marche.
Marche Rocket, Garrison Creed, and Chris Logan triple threat match there, and that's one of the previews there. Man, I'm gonna have to check. I'm gonna have to check this out, man. And it's so October 3rd. It's gonna be on Amazon. The Chicagoland Championship Wrestling is gonna be on Amazon, man. Dude.
Well, it won't be on Amazon that day. That's the day we're doing the show and recording.
Okay.
I don't have release date. As soon as I get that, I'll let you know. Okay. But I just did want to let people know if they're across the country, because we have people who are coming in from different states just for the show. We have, I think, people from Michigan, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, I think also Kentucky and possibly Kansas, where people are coming in for the show. So it will be on Amazon. I just don't have the date yet for that.
Well, yeah. I'm all for more studio-type wrestling. That's what I grew up with. 605 Superstation every Saturday.
Yes.
Yep.
So that's very much the vein of what we do at FGW. That's what the NWA was doing there when they came back, was getting back to that, which was very cool.
Yeah.
I think shit like that, we need more of that. It's just smaller venue, smaller crowd, more intimate feeling,
Plus, then you have better quality of video, so you have better things you can show the different promoters.
Yes. Yeah. That's that. I love that. That's one thing. That's one thing I always say about FGW. I love that studio like feel. It feels like something that you'd pull up and watch on like Saturday mornings. Or Saturday night, or like just how it's cut and produced and everything. It has that old studio feel to it of what I remember, and it's like watching one of those. When I remember growing up as a kid there, watching like the local wrestling that's on the local like Channel 3, Channel 2, and it has that feel to it. And it's like, wow, I love this. And just watching how they cut everything, the production wise, and watching the talent in there. I mean, just it's great promotion. I mean, Robin.
Yes, I love everything that Cody and Brian have done with it. I've been wanting to go out there, but I'm in Chicago. It's like 4.5 hours away, so I'd be leaving work, and by the time I get there, the show's already started. I'm like, well, I don't want to be that guy that shows up every week.
Don't worry, we have some of them guys. Like I said, we were using Drew and Apollo out of Indianapolis there for.
Oh, okay.
They come in for a tour, so they get there like right. Sean Casey lives in the area. Always the last guy there. Always the last.
Yeah, but that's Sean. Sean always does that. He doesn't live at Battle and Border, and I can show up after work, and he'll still show up after me.
Yeah. Although, when I started booking this stuff, I don't know if he because I'm not Cody, he was there earlier. I don't know if he thought that was going to have some bearing on his booking. Then I told Cody that's the real reason all this shit happened. He gave me the book for FGW, and that's why everything. Why the whole world went to shit because Cody Hawk gave me the book to FGW.
Well, okay, that's partially it. The other part is because the storyline between David Barnabas Spector and Billy, I fucking loved.
Yeah, I did too.
Oh. And he didn't.
I love Dave, and I've been wanting to work with Dave since he came back and he got in managing. Like right before he got in managing, him and Robin came to Chicago for All Elite Wrestling, like the first original run. Yeah. And so me and my wife ended up meeting up with them for dinner afterwards, and me and Dave just started to talk about managing. He was telling me he was looking at getting back into it, and I love what he's done. But I like I said before, I haven't come out there for an FGW show yet. And I would go online, and I would see on FGW, and all I would see was about Dave and Billy. And I absolutely fucking loved it. And then you had Shauna with Amos.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That I loved. Like, I didn't know all the stories that were going on. Those were the two from all the way in Chicago I was following. And I actually love those.
Dude,
and Will was hesitant to do the Billy thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's going to be fucking gold.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Every week, they chanted his name at the beginning of the show. Every fucking week. They made him a homemade People's Champion belt.
I saw that.
Yeah,
Dave ripped it up. They had that one for a while. Dave won it and ripped it up. They made him a new one that lit up. The new one lit up.
Yes, Damien, I talked with Brian Levick and got myself sent down here to Daytona an FGW shirt and the two FGW DVDs you had to buy, Cold Blooded and Origins 2. I bought both of those, and god dang, out of my wrestling DVD collection, those two I put at the top right there. Especially Origins 2. The storyline going in with Cody Hawk and Drew Skills, god dang, that was great. One of my favorite stories from Shockwave was the heavy metal Viking hooks and the bold and beautiful. That right there was great because it's just they started just, going at it right there little by little and building up. And then when I'd watch FGW episodes, I see hooks out there, or especially the bold and the beautiful. I'm sitting there looking at Jake Rose, and I'm like, all right, where's heavy metal hooks at? And then all of a sudden, during the match is going on, and all of a sudden you see something out of the corner of your eye, and the camera's over. There's heavy metal hooks coming out there with a barbed wire bat, chasing them around the ring. I'm like, oh my god, this shit is great. And then when they added Ricky Glam and Big Booty Brad into the mix, and what led to that hardcore match at was it Cold Blooded or Origins 2?
I think it was Origin 2 where they had the tables, ladders, and chairs.
Oh god, dude! If the ceiling was up higher at that place, they would have climbed to the top and touched the ceiling and came back down for spots. I mean, they basically, that was one of my favorite hardcore matches there that they had there, because they pulled out everything except the kitchen sink, Damien. And it's on one of the best of episodes on FGW.
Probably on more than one of them. Poor Neary. He had when we first went into all this. Neary's like, "Don't worry, we got plenty of footage. We can last forever." And then it's getting towards the end. He's like, "I know this is like the third time this match has been on here, but I've ran out of shit to put up here, guys."
Yeah, but. Yeah, that's one of the storylines I loved, and of course the Barnabas Spector and Billy storyline that was great there. Shauna and Amos, that was great, and just There's some really good stories. The storylines, Cody and Drew Skills, that was great. But what I love about the Cold Blooded DVD is the bonus matches that was on there. The bonus match with Sammy Callahan going up against Ace. Yeah, you had the Impact Wrestling champion going up against the help me out here. Yes,
X Division.
Yeah, you had the X Division champ versus the Impact champion, dude, in an FGW arena.
Nice.
Yeah,
That we announced that nobody knew it was going to happen. It's just Sammy's been doing one-on-ones with Cody.
Yeah.
And Cody's like, hey, instead of paying me, why don't you come? And he was like, fucking absolutely. So, and I've known Sammy.
Seriously, who the hell tells Cody Hawk no?
Yeah. I mean, and I've known Sammy since he was a backyarder. And he was because he went to high school here around my area.
Right.
My wife worked at a local diner here in my little town for a while, and somehow there was a whole group of them, that did this little backyard thing every weekend. Somehow they found out that Ripper Blackheart's wife worked at the diner, right? They went to the diner and gave her this VHS tape and asked her to bring it to me and have me watch it, of their backyard stuff, way back when they were in high school.
wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome right there. That's
My wife
awesome,
hates
boys.
My wife hates that kind of shit. We was in Kroger's one time, and now this kid, he just started working out there at my shoot job. He lives next door to my parents now. He's married, got his own family. But when he was in high school, he worked at the local Kroger's. I was getting groceries. He was the bag boy. Me and her were getting groceries. He bags up the groceries, puts it in a cart, and goes, it was an honor to bag Ripper Blackheart's groceries. My wife's like, Jesus Christ.
Oh, damn.
So get back with me, Damien, when someone is honored to bag your groceries, pal.
Well, you know, I have been called out in the middle of the Louis Joliet Mall.
Oh,
Yeah.
the Lima Mall, I had a bunch of little kids tugging on the back of my shirt. Going, hey, River, what's next show? Or they'll just yell my name across from one store over to the other. Again, my wife's reaction is, Jesus Christ.
See, and the funny thing is, I'm okay with this for sheer fact. Damien Saint is, for the most part, like 99% of the time, out of Illinois. And then it says the referee's in Illinois.
Yeah.
So no one ever like, oh my God, it's the referee! And I never really have to deal with fans sitting there going like, Damien Saint! Or going, oh God, Damien Saint.
Anna's gonna watch back at this, man, and yeah, you're gonna have to share this episode and send it to her. And,
Yeah, but I don't know what Anna.
Natasha.
Oh!
Yeah.
Natasha!
Yeah!
I love you, Natasha. Natasha's actually one of my newest clients.
Yeah. Yeah, I had her on last year. I had her on the Everett Lee Show. You
That's
hit
right.
me up.
I forgot I got you hooked up with her.
Yeah. I loved it. That episode was great. I mean, we talked about a lot of things. She was fun and charismatic, and I enjoyed that conversation I had with her. And I told her, I hit her up a while back ago. I said, I'd love to get you back on. And she said just hit me up. We'll work something out. And that was great. That's cool, because what I love about Damien, a lot of the talent, Ripper, that I've had on the Everett Lee Show, he's pretty much hit me up out of the blue like, hey, I got a new client. Can you get him on your show? I'm like, all right, let's see what I can do and get him on.
Oh, that reminds me. I got a new client. I need to get him on your show. Legitimately, I do have a new client. I need to get him on your show.
Yeah. Definitely give me the info, and I definitely, we'll work something out, man. I'm always good. I'm always good for it. Always getting that new talent out there for you.
Oh, I know, and I always love you for it, buddy.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it because it helps me out. It helps you out, and everyone gets to see amazing talent come on the Everett Lee Show, and they get entertained by the Everett Lee Show, and they're getting entertained right here by ELS Uncut. This is
Cut if it was cut. If it was cut, it'd be just a little bit less entertaining. But it's uncut.
Yeah.
It's totally entertaining.
Exactly.
Raisin bread. Yeah. Tell me another podcast that has raisin bread on it. Not the fucking one.
What do you mean, this raisin bread?
That's a
That's very
fan.
raisiny. That's a lot of reasons.
This right here, what Damien did, this is a fans only thing right here that you're getting for free.
Yeah.
He could totally be on fans only with this raisin bread right now, but he's not. He's sharing with all of you on Everett Lee Uncut.
Yes. ELS Uncut. You know what's funny about what you said about OnlyFans? You know what OnlyFans was originally started out as? For content creators. And then look who came in and took it over.
Porn takes over everything, man.
I think, actually...
Do you think the internet was originally created for porn? No.
Yeah.
What gets used more on the internet than anything, other than the Everett Lee Show Uncut, is porn.
I'll tell you, the internet also was made for... still to this day, can you answer this question? Who is the most downloaded woman off the internet?
Jenna Jameson.
Yep. Take a guess, Ripper.
Oh, I'm going to say Pamela Anderson.
Nope.
Taylor Swift.
Nope. Cindy.
You're a goddamn liar.
Cindy Margolis. Cindy Margolis. Yeah.
She's still alive?
Yeah, she's still alive. She still looks good, too. Believe it or not. She does.
Well, I'm not downloading her. I don't download it.
I remember when Windows 95, 98 came out, and I had friends, I went over to a friend's house one time, and they're sitting there, they're like, hey, you want to see something? I'm like, okay. They're like, it's like looking around, make sure the parents ain't around, you know? And all of a sudden, there's a picture of Pam Anderson.
And that's the first time Everett Lee ever saw gay porn.
No, I
And
didn't.
it wouldn't be the last.
No. No. And he's like, my friend's like, look, check it out. I was like, yeah, Pam Anderson topless. All right, yeah, cool. He's like, look, I'm going to download this picture. Click on it, and all of a sudden it's like, deep.
He does it.
And he's sitting there trying to click off of it. All of a sudden you hear, in the background coming. He's like, Howard, what you doing? It's like, click, 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 click. And all of a sudden they come in. It's like, go home. It's like, you're grounded. It's like, but Mom, he was a virus. Someone said it to me.
So yeah, you kids today are spoiled.
Spoiled. I'm not spoiled, man.
Spoiled.
The kids today, you just boom, porn, tap, porn.
I know. I
have an uncle that's only 5 years older than me. He would have to steal dirty magazines from his older brothers, hide them in the hay mound so we could look at them.
I had to basically back in the day before digital cable, you had to go over to the channel 99. It was all and all of a sudden straighten up is like, oh,
you're like,
maybe you saw a boob every once in a while.
I think that's a nipple. I'm pretty sure that's a nipple.
But I'll tell you what, when they run that
or especially when I was preteen, early teen, you stay up late on Friday night watching Comedy Central just for Girls Gone Wild.
Oh,
You never saw anything. But when you're like 12 and 13, you're like, oh my God, boobas.
What's really great in the summertime and your parents have the full cable package and you find out about a thing called Cinemax.
Yeah.
After dark.
I don't know. I was poor. I
can't help
Cinemax.
My parents were gainfully employed. I can't help that.
Cinemax.
Nine.
I remember Cinemax, man. I remember that Cinemax After Dark. Shannon Tweed, Gene Simmons' wife, would get on there. You know, she was always doing something on there. And then what the hell was that? It was that damn movie I watched because of Buff Bagwell was on there. I forgot.
Day of the Warrior.
Yeah.
It has the chick who's on all the heavy metal magazine covers.
Julia Strain.
Yeah.
God dang. Whew. And then they had that
That's
one.
a terrible movie, by the way.
Yeah,
terrible
it is.
Movie.
It is. It's
awful.
It's great for boobies. That's basically it. And Julia Strain, and then they put a wrestling ring in there, and you see Buff, painted up.
Yeah, he's like breaking his necks or something in it, or I don't remember what it was, but it was ridiculous.
The B movies, man.
Wearing an Indian headdress and shit too. I'm like, what the? I stumble across here.
I know.
Oddly enough, Buff actually went into porn. He was like a gigolo for like a year.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember that. I remember that. Talking about Buff, Damien. If you go back and listen to the episode I did with Ripper, I think the recent one, I think it was like 2-0. I've done so many damn podcasts.
2-0 something. I remember that.
It was 2-0 something. You got to hear Ripper's story about Virgil.
I can't understand you laughing too much.
Do you have a Virgil story yet, Damien?
No, I do not have a Virgil story
You
yet.
will before your career is over, trust me.
Yes.
Everybody in wrestling has a Virgil story. If they don't, they will get one before they're done. I promise you that.
Seriously, when I listen, Ripper does a podcast with Michael McCormick. Michael McCormick, Tales from the Indies, and they talk about the deal with Virgil, because I had Michael McCormick on as a guest. He told me his side of what happened.
He told the story, but he fucked it all up. He fucked up every story he told.
Because
I met him, I'm like, you fucked up every single one of them stories.
because right after I released the episode and put it out there, all of a sudden Ripper hits me up. It's just Ripper went off on me. He's like, it's all a lie. This is what happened. And it's just going off. My messenger went off one day. It was just Ripper going off. I'm like, and then
like he fucked up this part, he fucked up that part. It went this way, not that way.
So a few episodes back, up later, I asked Ripper. I said, or I asked Michael to come back on. So Michael came back on, and the first thing we did was let's clear up the clarification that Ripper tore me up.
The correction. That was the very first start of the show. Him just correcting everything he had fucked up from the show that he was on before.
Yeah, and then I got Ripper back on the following show, and I said, "All right, tell me about Virgil. I want to hear it from you." And when Ripper told it, oh God, I played it for my wife. My wife was sitting there laughing her ass off. She's like laughing so hard, just crying. Just, you got it. I'll send it to you, Damien.
Please.
It's
McCormick said you could probably do a podcast of guys just coming on telling Virgil stories, and I believe that. I believe that is true.
You call it the Virgil Chronicles.
Yeah, I mean, Jesus Christ, that guy.
Yeah. I mean, you got to meet Paul London out of it. That was cool.
Yeah, we actually got Paul London to sit down and do a podcast. We was at this shitty wrestling convention, and I'll let you listen to the thing because it's a long story. But what it is, we'd asked Virgil to do it, and he couldn't because he had to make the fuck money. And that was his words. Now, I'm not making it up. So Paul London come by and said, "What's going on here?" We told him what we was doing. He's like, "Well, I ain't got nothing going on." I said, "If you guys don't care, I'll sit down and shoot shit." I was like, he sat down and shot shit with us for probably like 2 hours. I don't know how much of it we put in for like 2 hours. He just sat there and he made fun of Virgil, and we got pictures of him. Virgil left. We got pictures of him sitting in Virgil's booth, and we were, posting on social media, hashtag lonely Paul London instead of lonely Murphy.
Oh, no. But just hearing the story, Damien, I got to send that to you. I definitely get to send that to you. But, shit, dude, this has been fun, just shooting the shit with you, Damien. I know me and Ripper, we were supposed to talk about Back to the Future, but, I know you're an hour behind us being in Chicago because it's like 8:47 there, but here it's 9:47.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow, you can do 1 hour of math. I'm so proud of you, Everett.
I learned that from you because the times Ripper I had Damien on.
That's 60 whole minutes. 60 whole minutes.
The times I've had Damien on, I always forget, and it took me, I think, after the third time to learn that he's an hour behind me because I'd be like, all right, man, all right, let's do a show at 9 o'clock, and then he's like, I'd hit him up about almost like 9 o'clock my time, and he's like, dude, it's 7:55. I'm like, no, it's not. It's like 8:55. No, it's 7:55. I'm like, oh, you're an hour behind me. Wow, man, I didn't know that.
Yeah, the funny thing is, he makes it seem like he does this a lot. It was the first time he did that. And ever since then, I was like, I don't trust this fucking idiot. Now I'll text him or message him. Like the day before, I'm like, hey, 7 p.m. Central, right, motherfucker? And then finally, this last time, you hit me the message last week. Ripper, you'd be so proud. I didn't have to say anything. He already fucking knew. He gave his time, and I gave him a time. And he's like, all right, so this time Central. And I'm like, God damn. Old dogs do learn new tricks.
They do. I think after the third time, I would learn like that. You think I would pick it up actually back in the day when I talked to talent and people that lived over in California, especially when I had Patricia Summerlin on. I mean, she's out in California. She's like, what, 3 hours behind me?
Yeah, 3 hours behind you.
Yeah, I had to set it because she said, how about we do it this time? And I'm like, is that East Coast or West Coast time? She's like, oh, you're 3 hours ahead of me. I'm like, yeah, I'm on East Coast. So it worked out. It worked out, but you figure just an hour time difference?
Damien, you want to know what's going to happen in an hour from now? I can tell you. I can tell you. I'm an hour ahead of you. I can tell you what's going to happen in an hour.
Well, goddamn, you son of a bitch. Why didn't you call anybody on 9/11 when the planes happened, huh? Where were you on that day? You un-American buck.
I was pooping.
You were pooping? What?
I was pooping. I had a hanger. You know.
1 hour long hanger. Why won't you get out of there?
Oh, God.
Leave my butthole.
See, you guys, you want to put a line in the sand? I'm going to go all the fucking way over it, just so you know.
That's right.
All right, we don't cross this line. I'm like, fuck you. Yes, we are.
Oh, God. Ripper, we're going to have to do Back to the Future for another day. This is so much fun, man. It's like, why stop? I love it. It's uncut. That's
right. Anything can happen.
I love it when Ripper says that at the beginning of the shows. He says, "That cut. Anything can happen." like a couple weeks ago, when I had the magnificent Johnny Walker. See, I said it right.
Yeah,
I said it right. I didn't know what to expect from him, man. He's pissed. And I think he still is pissed.
He don't fucking care.
Exactly. Yeah, he don't fucking care. He made that clear about 3 or 4 times. I don't fucking care. Hey, when he said that, yeah, he made it clear. And yeah, it didn't know what to expect, man. And that's why I love talking with you, Damien, and having you on, because I don't know what to expect when I have Damien Saint on, because the conversation go anywhere. And just doing this with Ripper Blackheart and you, dude, this is like a bonus, and it's great. I love this conversation that we have.
It's all right.
It's all right. But it's getting to that top of the hour, and you got
Still have work in the morning.
yeah. So you got Chicagoland Championship Wrestling going on. Anything else you got going on? Any promotions that's still running in Chicago area? Your area there?
Other area. The guy works everywhere. Don't pigeonhole him. He's a superstar.
I am a superstar, demons.
Oh shit.
In the area, no, not really so much. I mean, I'm still working in the Indiana area. I still do PWK every once in a while, Battle on the Border. I actually did recently go back to EHF. We'll save that story for another time, but yeah, me and EHF, we made up. So that's another story.
See, that's a whole other episode that we'll start to talk about and go way the fuck off subject.
Yeah.
Damn. Anything else? Anything else you got going on? You got planned besides Chicagoland?
Hookers and blow.
Hookers and blow.
Yeah,
Nothing else.
No more house projects. You're done with the house.
No, I still got plenty of house projects.
Ah, see.
It's just taking my time with them.
Nice.
That's called job security, buddy. That's what that is.
It really is.
Saturday, October 3rd, they're having the TV tapings for Chicagoland Championship Wrestling, and that's going to be available on Amazon Prime or an Amazon, basically.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I can't wait when it does become available on there to watch, because I'm definitely going to check it out. I'm a Prime member, so I know they're going to have something that's like, if you're a Prime member, you get to watch this. But I'm excited for this because, I mean, Ripper, how much I've never really heard too much about wrestling on Amazon Prime except like documentaries and stuff. Nothing. They
do have some really older shit on there.
Yeah, and they just had I watched what was it? Something Dojo. It was connected to Ring of Honor, and it was this tournament that they had in there, and the winner of the tournament, it's a couple of years old now, but James Storm was in it, and there's a couple of indie guys that you would recognize in it. Wrestling Dojo, I think maybe that's the name of it.
Maybe they had something like that, and they had like some of the old NWA stuff on there.
Yeah, older territory, like Memphis. There's some Memphis stuff on there.
Pretty much whatever Vincent buy.
Yeah.
Wow. Where can people keep up with Damien Saint on social media?
So you can catch me on Facebook. I'm officially off my 4-day ban. I don't know if I'm done pissing off Facebook yet, so you never know. I might get banned again. But I do have a page, and I do have YouTube, and Twitter, and Instagram, and even Snapchat. I don't really use most of it, but hey, I'm a whore, so why not?
Nice. Damien, as always, thank you so much. We're gonna have to get you back on again and shoot the shit, man. I've enjoyed it tonight here talking with you.
Always a pleasure, my friend.
Always fun. Always fun. Ripper Blackheart, what do you got going on, and what else is happening with you?
Well, hopefully FGW will be starting back up here soon. Like I said, we're just waiting on the health commission. We got our plan set in. World Wrestling, we're hoping to be back in November at the Bradfield Community Center. If you go to War Ohio on Facebook, you could probably get the information for that. OCW, definitely November 14th. I already been given the date. And then New Ohio Wrestling will probably not start back up, like they said, till the Arnold Classic. If the Arnold Classic happens, I would hope it would happen by then. Other than that, I'm really lazy, so you want to get a hold of me, you just have to go to Facebook and look up the Ripper page. But while you're there, check out, because I spotlighting 100 wrestlers for 100 days. I just did day 53 today. These are wrestlers that I've worked with. It's not a ranking system. It's not like these are my favorite guys ever. They're just 100 random wrestlers that I think every wrestling fan should know about, check out, get to know. So that's on there. Other than that, like I said, comic book shit, you can find me with that. I've got a public domain character page on Facebook. I have an open source character page on Facebook. You go through there, check, do like comic book shit. That's in there. Other than that, except for every Tuesday night on ELS Uncut, I'm pretty much just waiting for some fucking wrestling to happen.
Fucking wrestling.
Nice.
Everett, that's where you join in and you go ahead and do fucking wrestling like the rest of us, so we now have a fucking trend. But you know, never mind. You fucked it up.
Actually, you know what I'm really waiting for? I'll tell you what I'm really waiting for. Fucking wrestling.
Too late. You killed it.
No.
It's ruined. It's like our first life all over again. You just ruined everything.
The show was going so well.
It really was. I'm getting hungry for my Pepperidge Farm Swirl Raisin Bread.
Look at that. You made it.
Thanks for ruining my Pepperidge Farm Swirl Raisin Bread.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
If he says it one more time, they have to become a sponsor. I'm pretty sure that's a rule.
What, are you talking about Pepperidge Farm Swirl Raisin Bread?
Ding, ding, ding.
Where's my damn money?
Well, that is it. Podcasting Network, your top source for independent podcasting. Head over to podcasting.net. Follow them on social media. Podcasting Network on Facebook, Twitter at PodcastCityNet. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, Podcasting Network, and on Twitch, /Podcast City Network. Podcast City Network. Be creative, be independent, be yourself. When I need a logo or graphic design done, I use 3 Count Design. 3 Count Design offers a wide range of graphic design products, video, photography, and other forms of media. Everything from t-shirt designs to websites. For more information, head over to facebook.com/3countdesign. That is facebook.com/3countdesign. When I want to kick back a few cold ones with my friends, I head over to City Limits Tap Room. City Limits Tap Room has a wide selection of TVs to watch your favorite sports, indoor and outdoor seating. They are pet friendly. City Limits Tap Room also has food made fresh to order, and the grilled cheese is excellent. I recommend the grilled cheese and the apple pie cider. The fries on the side, can't go wrong with that, baby. For more information for upcoming events, head over to facebook.com/City Limits Tap Room. Thank you, Damien Saint. You're entertaining and fun as always. And before I forget, I want to give a shout out to Cody Fleming of MIW Wrestling Rage. Cody's been in the hospital and he's been fighting through it. He's had, I'm probably saying this wrong, don't kill me, ammonia. He's had his lungs drained twice of fluid. And at the moment now, as I'm mentioning this, he's still in the hospital. He's ready to get out of there. He is ready to get out of there. Hit him up on Facebook. Let him know that you're praying for him and you're hoping he pulls through this and gets out, because hopefully he won't have to have surgery. Hopefully he won't have to have surgery, because that will be the last thing that he may have to have. And let's hope not. Cody, bro, pull through this, man. I'm pulling for you, man. Love you, bro. Keep the good spirits up, man. Keep the good spirits up. Keep them up, man. And I did enjoy our conversation when you did your live stream from the hospital there, and just the conversation we had, man. And I want to continue those conversations. So pull through, man. I'm pulling for you, and everybody else is pulling for you, man, because we need some wrestling rage. Because if we don't have our daily dose of wrestling rage and MIW, we're going to go raging. I just had to say that, dude. But again, Damien Saint, thank you so much. And thank you for everyone tuning in on ELS Uncut every Tuesday night, starting at the new time, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, live over on the Everett Lee Show Facebook page and Podcasting Network Facebook page. That is it for this episode. Be sure to tune in next week for another new exciting episode of The Everett Lee Show.